All right, so today we're diving into something big, a pretty fundamental shift in how we talk to artificial intelligence. With models like GPT-5 coming, just asking simple questions isn't going to cut it anymore. We're talking about sophisticated management. This is your guide to what might be a crucial new skill, prompting the future. So let me just pose a question. What if your AI wasn't just a search engine, but more like an autonomous employee? One that can make decisions, use tools, and complete really complex projects, all on its own. How would you even manage that? Well, that's the challenge and the massive opportunity we're exploring today.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with what makes this new AI so different. Then we'll get into what an AI agent actually is. We'll cover the practical side of managing its proactivity, look at a real-world coding example, learn why clear instructions are absolutely non-negotiable, and then wrap it all up with why this is probably a skill you're going to want to have.
Okay, first up, we're moving way past the era of AI as just a simple Q&A machine. The next generation isn't just designed to talk, it's designed to do. This is a huge leap from just retrieving information to actually taking action and solving problems.
So if we look under the hood at GPT-5, the source documentation points to 4 key things. Agentic task performance is just a fancy way of saying it's much better at completing multi-step goals by itself. The advanced coding, well, that's a game changer for developers. But that last point, extraordinary steerability, that's the one that changes everything for us. It means our instructions, our words matter more than ever before.
So here's the one idea to keep in your head for the rest of this explainer. Think of GPT-5 not as a tool, like a hammer or a spreadsheet. Think of it as a brilliant new hire. One who's incredibly fast, but takes every single word you say completely literally. It has zero intuition about what you actually meant. Your job is to become an excellent manager.
So how does this new kind of AI actually get things done? Well, that's where this concept of AI agents comes in. This is really the formal term for an AI that has moved from just chatting with you to actively accomplishing things in a digital world. And what makes an AI agentic really comes down to 3 things. It's autonomous, it makes decisions, and it uses tools. Like searching a database, or editing a file, or calling an API. It's a system that doesn't just give you an answer, it executes a whole plan to get you to a finished result.
Now, if you're managing this brilliant new hire, one of your first tasks is setting expectations. Do you want them to be fast and scrappy, or do you want them to be slow and methodical? This is where we get into this really cool idea of tuning your agent's eagerness.
Agentic eagerness. It's such a great term, right? It's basically the dial you can turn to control how much initiative the AI takes. Do you want it to spend time exploring every possible angle, or do you want it to act quickly based on the information it has right now? It's a trade-off, and you are the one who controls it with your prompt.
And the control you have, it all comes down to the exact words you use. If you want speed, you tell it to be efficient, get context fast, and you can even set a hard limit like a maximum of tool calls. But for thoroughness, you tell it to be relentless, never stop, do not ask the human to clarify. You are directly managing its work ethic through your instructions. It's pretty incredible.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in practice? Let's take a look at a case study from the AI code editor Cursor to see how they're applying these exact principles to get the most out of these new models.
The first lesson from Cursor's whole experience is that this is not a set-it-and-forget-it kind of thing. Prompting an advanced AI is an iterative cycle of testing and refining. Even for a team of total experts building a cutting-edge tool, getting the instructions just right is a constant process of adjustment.
So here was the breakthrough moment for the Cursor team. They were facing this problem where the AI's general chat was way too verbose, but the actual code it wrote was too terse and hard to read. So they came up with this brilliant instruction. It sets a clear value, clarity first, and then it gets specific. Use high verbosity, but only for the code itself.
Their process was simple but so effective. First, they identified a clear problem with these conflicting outputs. The second step was the clever part. They used a global setting for one behavior and a specific prompt instruction to override it for another. The result? The perfect balance. A quiet assistant that writes beautifully clear code. It's really a masterclass in precise management.
This kind of precision, though, it creates a new kind of risk. Because GPT-5 follows instructions so literally,
unclear or contradictory rules are more damaging than ever. It can lead to what you might call AI paralysis, where the model wastes energy trying to solve an unsolvable logic puzzle that you accidentally gave it.
Let's look at an example from a hypothetical healthcare scheduling prompt. Here's rule number 1. It's clear, it's logical, it's safe. Always get consent before booking. Makes perfect sense.
But then, later in the very same prompt, the AI is given this instruction for urgent cases. It says to auto-assign a slot without contacting the patient. We've just created a direct contradiction. One rule says always get consent first, and the other says book without consent first. So, what's it supposed to do? This is the dilemma. Faced with this, a human might guess or, ask for clarification. But a literal-minded AI like GPT-5 might just get stuck, trying to find a logical path that satisfies both impossible constraints. As the manager, you've just given your employee 2 orders that can't both be followed.
And here's the fix. It's remarkably simple. The corrected prompt resolves the contradiction by changing the rule to auto-assign after informing the patient. It also adds a clear exception for emergencies. So now there's a logical hierarchy. The AI knows exactly what to do and when. Clarity is everything. Okay, so let's zoom out and connect all these techniques to the bigger picture. We're moving away from just telling an AI what to do, and we're moving towards building a true partnership. Your ability to communicate clearly becomes the absolute foundation of that partnership.
This leads to a really powerful, almost recursive idea called meta-prompting. This is where you use the AI as your coach. You tell it what you want it to do, you show it the prompt you're using, explain the incorrect behavior you're getting, and then you ask it to help you write a better prompt.
And you can use a template just like this one, taken directly from the source material. You're essentially asking the AI, how can I manage you better? How can I give you clearer instructions? It turns the whole process of prompt refinement into a collaborative effort.
When you put all this together, you realize that what we've been talking about isn't just some niche technical skill. It's becoming a new kind of literacy. Just as reading and writing are fundamental to collaborating with other humans, learning to prompt effectively is becoming the foundation for collaborating with this new form of intelligence.
And that leaves us with a final thought. For centuries, our value has often been tied to having the right answers. But as we enter an age where AI can provide answers with incredible speed and depth, perhaps our most valuable and uniquely human skill will be mastering the art of asking the right questions.